Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sadashivasamarambam Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Samasta Jana Kalyani Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vitvaram. We'll read the first two verses together. Ajatvadi sadguna sampanna yogi karmani kritva pinitaram viragi samadhi stitopi svabhaktaya labhyah mama sadgururyah subhidvastu varyah Ananda Chinmaya Nijarupa Veta Lokanudharaya Cha Avatirna Vakta Gudatma Tattvasya Bodhani Samartha Mama Sadgururyah Suvigneshu Srishtaha. Sreshtaha, Varyaha, Pratamaha, Samarthaha. These are all as an adjective, superlatives. It is said in Upanishad, Ananya Prokte Gatiratra Nasti. That is, if a person who has realized the truth and such a person who does not see oneself different from that reality, ananya. Ananya means, anya means other. Ananya means one who does not see oneself different from that reality. Ananya. Prokte sati. When such a person speaks to anyone, to his students, to satsangis, tesham gatihi nasti. Tesham samsara gatihi nasti. When he speaks for the audience or the students, there is no more samsara gati. Such a person is called Sreshta. There are many people who have studied Vedanta, become scholars, become Matadipatis. Some people only for that only. Matadipati banenge bhai. Kiske liye? So when Gurudev, when he came to talk to people, he did not want to become a a मठाधिपति, a शंकराचार्य, ऐसा कुछ नहीं था. Let me uplift people. लोकान उद्धाराय अवतीर्ण वक्ता. Let me talk to people, make sure that they come out of their own self-created bondage. And Bhagavan Krishna also, towards the end of 18th chapter, what does he say? The best person in me, for me, or I consider him as the most dear to me, who takes care of jnana yajna. Bhagavan himself said that, and Gurudev therefore kept all his talks on Gita as he is the one who coined that first. Not coined, he derived it from Gita, but made it famous to the world. Now everybody is using it. So Sreshta Purusha, when he speaks, people are uplifted. I've seen many people who have come, who will come to Balvihar, etc., as parents. So when I ask them, how did you know about Chinmaya Mission? Met Gurudev during my school years or during the college. I just walked by and heard the very thundering voice. Sat there for few lectures or few hours. After that, I never, pursued it. Later on, same people look forward and come and join. I've heard so many such stories. And they are not stories, they are actual facts. So how is that possible for one person to uplift so many people? It is Deva Anugraha. So such people are very rare who have taken up this task of uplifting the masses. Not to go in one place, sit in one ashrama and become a scholar, write commentary after commentary. You see, even Shankaracharya, Adi Shankaracharya, he never sat in one place. Did he? It is said he went 3 times, Kashmir to Kanyakumari, in his short span of active 16 years. How many matas, how many temples he consecrated, while he was continuing to write and compose and convince and argue with scholars to prove that Advaita. And Gurudev took the inspiration from such a master. And many of the so-called Matadhipatis, what they do, sit in one place, put on a lot of weight, eat, and do continuously puja. The whole idea of spreading the knowledge is not there. So, ananya prokte ghatiratra nasti. There is no samsara gati when a person of such great caliber, when he delivers this knowledge. So that is why you see, lokan uddharaya cha avatirnaha. Avataranam is to come down. Uddharanam is to lift up. Uddharaya avatirnaha. For us who are lying down, to wake us up and get uplifted, he came down. Bhagavan also says that I come down again and again. Whenever there is a decline of the dharma, right? In 4th chapter of Gita, and whenever there is a decline of dharma, I will come down to uplift those people who are persecuted by others. Sadhunam uddharanaya, then asadhunam nashanaya. So those who are adharmic, for them to be destroyed, for those who are dharmic, to uplift them. So many people ask this question that is it not true that this is the right time that Bhagavan has to come? It is not necessary Bhagavan has to come because there are enough sadhus who are there invoking the Lord and trying to uplift the society. If they are also absent, then yes. So therefore it is said, when Mahatmas are there, it is Bhagavat avatar only. He need not have to come every time. The major crisis he will appear when even those people are absent who are thinking about how to overcome this problem through noble moral ways. If they are also absent, then yes. So lokan uddharaya cha avatirna bhakta guda atma tattvasya prabodhe samartha. Atma tattvam is guda eva. Guda means hidden. That Gudha become in English become God. God is good, hidden. In Tamil it's called Kade Ul. I know how many of you know Tamil. Kada Ul. Kada means end, deep. Deep inside. Deep inside within all of us. And it's Gudha, it's hidden. Not that Bhagavan is afraid of us. Arey, I'll gupta ho jaun. Let me hide myself because these people are too terrible for me. No. It's not that Bhagavan is afraid and therefore he is hiding. He is hiding from our vision because we are Mudha. Therefore he become Gudha. Guhyadi kasmat. Why he is hiding? Because aham muhyad. We are vayam muhyamaha. We are all mudaha. So we are all mudaha, therefore he become Gudha. So what is visible to us for everyone, when we don't see it, it's not a problem of that. Problem is our mind. When we don't see it, if a person who has cataract does not see, it's not a problem, it's what is there. The problem of our eyes. That's why ajnana timirandasya jnananjana chala gaya nahi, chala gaya. Jnananjana shalakaya chakshuhu unmilitam mena. So Gudaha, Bhagavan also says guhyad guhyataram jnanam. Right, in the 9th chapter. That which is most hidden, I'll tell you. Hidden because it is covered by ignorance. Jnanena tu tad ajnanam nashitam bhavati. Because what? Ajnanena avritam jnanam tena mukhyanti jantavaha. Jantavaha mukhyanti. They, in general, people are deluded because of what? Ajnanena avritam jnanam. It is hidden as though. That's why in Dakshinamurti Sutram, Bhagavan Shankaracharya gives the example of Rahu. Rahu grastati vakarendra sadrusho maya samachadanat. And even at that time, 8th century or even before, Shankaracharya is very aware that the eclipse is only an appearance. Really, it's not. Is really sun is covered? Or moon is covered? No. Rahu grasta divakara indu sadrushaha. Like the Rahu, as you know the story, Rahu also consumed the Amritam. By mistake, he was also given, or he took it. But when he took it, Bhagavan cut off his neck. I mean, beyond the neck. So, he only has up to neck. Beyond that, there is no body. So, when you take anything, what happens? For some time, it will be hidden. After that, it will come out. In the same way, Rahu has as though swallowed the sun. Can he? It will come out. So eclipse also, it's only a shadow, and then beyond that, so nothing can really hide the sun. In the same way, that's what he points out there. Rahu grasta divakara indu sadrusha maya samachadana sanmatra karana upasamharanatah yo bodhu sushuptapuma. As though hidden from our perception. So, Gudātma Tattvasya Prabodhe Samartha, the one who is capable, expert in explaining these hidden truths, hidden from the view of a Mudaha. So, thus, and where this knowledge will release us? After death? No. Gurudev said, here. Shankaracharya also had proved this point. Jivanneva muktihi. If not here, when then? As a human being, if you don't realize, do you think as a cockroach you will realize that? Or as a crocodile, or a snake, or a tree, or a plant, or a bird, where we live only instinctively and intelligently. This human birth, which is endowed with intelligence, if in this birth we don't aspire to release ourselves, ihaiva tairjita sargaha yesham samye stitam manah. तैहि जितः सर्गः, संसार यहाँ पे ही जीतना है. इहैव तैर्जितः सर्गः येषां साम्ये स्थितं मनः, one whose mind is in that Brahman which is same in all. And Upanishad also says, iheva iha chet avedit adasatyamasti nacha iha avedin mahati vinashti. If you don't realize here, it is great destruction. Here alone. So therefore the next verse is, ihaiva brahmatma jnanena mochanam Shastreshu bodhidam yenaiva sadhitam Prajvalita buddhya sadachit swarupah Mama Sadgururyaha Paramartha Siddhaha Ihaiva brahmatma jnanena mochanam Shastreshu bodhitam yenaiva sadhitam Prajvalita buddhya sadachit swarupah Mama Sadgururyaha Paramartha Siddhaha. Mama Guruhu Paramartha Siddhaha. Parama Artham. Parama Artham is called Param Purushartha. Purushaihi Arthyate iti Purushartha. That which is aspired by all beings, all human beings also, especially human beings, because they know exactly what it is, where others do not. Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha is not for any animal, birds, or any other living beings, it's for human. Right? Dharma and Adharma, who knows? Human or others? Artha and Kama also. You give $2 to a monkey, what does it do? Probably he'll try to eat. It doesn't work, throw it. It has no meaning. Wealth, gold, give it to a donkey. What does it do? It will probably neigh and then throw it away. Because it is not of no use. So Artha is meant for what? For whom? Who has Artha for it? Who has a purpose for it? Artha means wealth also, purpose also. So Dharma, Papa Punya also. To whom? Animals don't have that concept of Papa and Punya. I'm doing something wrong, it will take me to heaven, to hell. I'm doing now these good things, it will take me to heaven. Does it have that? So all these, and also Kama. Kama is there, common. But again, Kama in the form of a engaging in self-indulgences with an intention to continue again and again and again and again and more. That's not the case of the animals. You give food to the animal, if it is full, it won't eat. Whereas we, kal nahi milega, aaj hi kha lo. Or take it, put it in the fridge. परिवार के लिए रह रहा हूं. For my son, my daughter. It has no such wanting to experience and therefore hide it from others. These are all stories we make out of the, so lion hiding the food so that tomorrow we can, nothing. Once it is finished, it will just go away. Whoever wants to take it, take it. So dharma, artha, kama, moksha are meant for purushas. Purushaihi artyate. Manushaihi artyate. Iti purushartha. And the final one, moksha also. That's called parama purushartha. One who has achieved this is called parama purushartha siddha. So, purusha paramartha siddha. Mama guruhu paramartha siddha. One who has achieved the supreme end or goal of life. And such a accomplished master alone can tell us, iha eva, here itself. If anybody else says, will you believe? A miserable, crying person, you can get moksha here itself. I am crying. A person who is under so much of sorrow and pain and unhappiness, if he says something, will you believe with it? That's why the last name is Ananda, right? Chinmaya Ananda, Ishwarananda, Tejomaya Ananda. Why? It is supposed to be Ananda only. Otherwise you will be given Ishwara Dukhi. So Ananda shows that it is possible here, even if you are not, better be. If they given the name, at least better be Ananda. So iha eva brahma atma jnanena mochanam. Not brahma jnanena eva, brahma atma jnanena. Brahma eva atma iti jnanena. So the oneness has to be discovered, not just one aspect of it. Brahma jnanam available in Upanishad. But Brahma Atma iti jnanam Mahavakyena. Mahavakyas is to establish the oneness between individual self and the Supreme Self. So, tena eva mochanam. By that knowledge alone is liberation. Iha eva. So if somebody says, I went to heaven and come back, will you believe that? If you have gone to heaven, why did you come back then? Bhagavan Krishna says even going to heaven is only a temporary thing. Right? Even those who go to heaven and enjoy everything, then come back. Because Shine Punya Martya Lokam. When the Punyas are all exhausted, you come back. So that kind of coming back is not what we need. Gata gatam kama kama labante. Gata agata. Going and coming back, going and coming, going and coming. So when you get any other knowledge, there can be even punya kritam karma. Punya karma and kritam, that the actions performed for the sake of merit, no doubt, will take you to higher levels of experience. But then, anything that is born of karma must end. Karma cannot give eternal result. So once that is over, the effect of the karma is over, back. So in today's world, people say we are all healthy, we are living up to 80, 85. Remove the medicine, let us see. Try. No medicine you should take. Try to live up to 80. Then you are healthy. It's all itna leke. Instead of breakfast, you take this much. What is that? Medicine. See, if you take this much of medicine and try to be alive, that is not health. Stop that, next day you collapse. Similarly, punya also, it is accumulated, and when that is stopped, over, back. That's why the child cries, right? Again I came back. Oh my God, again I have to start working from A for apple, B for boy, C for cat, and D for dog. Somebody sent me the beautiful A for AI, B for bytes, C for computer, T for data. So this is in latest one. E for email, F for Facebook, like that it goes. So again come back and start the whole thing. So if a person who is convincingly tell us that this moksha is possible, ihaiva mochanam brahmajnanena brahmatmajnanena mochanam, this is shastreshu bodhitam. It is taught in the shastra. But how do we know that it is true? Yeneva sadhitam. By whom it is accomplished. Because it is said that Mahatmas are living legends who prove what is said in the Shastra is right. You mean Nachiketa does not know that it is what is said there in the Shastra, Upanishad? At that time, whatever he learnt, but he wanted to make sure that it is spoken by a person who knows. That's why he said that I want to learn from you alone. Nobody else can teach me this. What happens after death, how do I know? I should ask a dead person or a living person. If I ask a living person, he is not yet dead. How does he know how it is beyond death? If I ask a dead person, if I can, I cannot. So whom do I ask? A person who is dead or one who is alive? Both ways is not possible. Right? Etat vidyam anishishtas tvaya aham varanamesha varastrati. I want to learn from you alone. Even Bhagavan Krishna was asked the same question by Arjuna. I want to learn from you alone. What happens to a person, a yogi, who could not accomplish this moksha and goes away from this body? What happens to him? Whom do I ask? So, only those who have reached the highest state of oneness with the self alone can convincingly tell that what is said in the Shastra is true. Shastreshu bodhidam yenaiva sadhitam. One who has proved himself what is already said in the Shastra. It is because he was taught by the one who did that, who had that, Tapovan. Such masters were very rare and they remained in isolation. And to such master, when he approached and learned, and he said, this knowledge should be given to everyone. Death is not an end. Death is only a what? A small pass. It is like when you're driving in a mountainous area, bend is not an end. Because you can't see it, right? If, let's say, in your hilly region you're going, the road bends and goes that side. And if you go there, that also end, it looks like end then, but that goes like that. So the third day of our parikrama, when we were coming back from, Kailash parikrama, it's a long walk. Coming down only. So we are very eager to come down. So when we walk, as we go, suddenly, we think that when I turn, I will see the destination. When I turn, nothing. There's one more road going. So we again go walk. Okay, I think another bend. So at the end, because you can see where we are going to stay, that as a big opening area. Eagerly go to the end, one more road going like that. So, okay, chalo, let's keep going. Don't even think about it. You will reach. So a bend does not mean end. Similarly, death is only a bend, not the end. It's only to go to the next one, next level, next birth, next birth, next birth, next birth. When does it end? So Shastra says that end is in you, not outside. You end yourself. That's it. That's the end. The end your ego, you end the travel. The journey ends in you, not outside you. So this knowledge requires a very, very sharp intellect. And that's why prajvalita buddhya, very bright intelligence. Bright intelligence means an ability to go into the subtle nature of oneself with the help of a competent guru and reflection upon that knowledge by oneself with a quiet, alert mind. Prajvalita buddhya chatachit sadachit swarupaha. Ever remaining in the nature of consciousness with a very bright sukshmaya sukshmadarshibhihi, it is said in the Upanishad, by the very subtle intellect. A subtlety of the intellect is possible only when the impurities of the mind is removed. They are removed. Gurudev always said that when the mind has become clear of impurities, the buddhi becomes sharp. So that is the reason why Bhagavan Krishna started to explain how to purify the mind first, by karma yoga and bhakti, ashtanga yoga, or whatever. All those things are taught before he comes to explain the nature of reality in the 13th chapter. Until then, he talks about all the sadhanas, what to do. Then only he said, now I'll tell you what it is. That purity of mind and clarity of thinking is necessary to understand the inherent reality which appears to be hidden. Prajvalita buddhya. So there were many other Mahatmas or many other gurus were there even before Gurudev or during his time also. But why he becomes so well known? The sharpness of the intellect. Ability to communicate that knowledge with such an amount of authority. Not just the language that he spoke, but the clarity with which he spoke. The scholars, even though they knew, but they did not have the ability to convince a common man. They only went to scholarly circles and then argued about the truth. But who came to the level of a common man and said, "No, I will teach you about this"? And that's why Gurudev always had said, science is one thing, technology is yet another. Meaning, science is how to get things or how to go about using the correct knowledge. But make it practical for a common man to use, that is technology. You mean to say the cellular technology was discovered in the 90s and 20s? It was there in 50s. Military was using it. Emails were there in the 50s and 60s. But it's used only for military intelligence, not available for common man. But when it became a technology available for common man, oh, what a great benefit it has brought in. Right? Science made practical its technology. In the same way, Upanishad has taught the supreme reality, but who made it available for even a common man to understand and at least assimilate some ideas and get some benefit out of that? Who daringly came out and spoke about it? He was so discouraged by people at that time, by scholars. Don't go to the common man and talk about this. Why? This is not meant for others. Who told you? Why should I hide it? If it is benefiting everybody, it should be available for everybody. Is the sun hiding itself? Only for some people. Truth can never be hidden for too long. It has to be opened. And that's what he did. And that requires him to think how to make sure that even a common man can understand the technical details of this reality, such that such a person who listens to it can emulate those things or practice those things in also smaller ways also. Otherwise, people say that, okay, go to the temple and do this homa, that puja. Why? Don't ask. Even when I was growing up, I asked my questions, why am I doing this? My parents could not answer, so I was not convinced. Though I was doing it mechanically. Until I met Gurudev, where he clarified, this is why. So when I was going to school, etc., I was sitting with my dad when he was doing puja. Sometimes I don't, I would be doing something else. And he'll call out, come on, Arati ho raha hai. So, theek hai. But when I went to start becoming part of the Yoga Kendra and started to learn, then when I went back home where my parents were, I sat there for the puja with him. He looked, you don't have anything else to do? I said, I am here to watch you doing and participate in that. Kya hua? Because now I know why he is doing and what is being done. I chanted the Purusha Suktam and other things. I'm saying, why? I am also reading only. You are being by heart. So because now I know. So until you know why you are doing, you will not participate. You'll be there, but mind won't be there. You take your teenager to a temple. If he is not a Balviyar student, you will stand like an erect tree. You will not even bend in front of. Is it not? Why? Why should I? Many times when I go to somebody's house where the children were not part of Balviyar, etc., then the parents would say, come on, page lago, dannam bettu. Namaskar karo. That fellow, and then he will look at if it is a small child, doesn't even know what that means. Right? Unless the parents themselves do it, aisa karo. Then again, I will also do it. Sometimes even if the parents show it, no. Prarabdha. Because he doesn't have conviction. Why should I do it? So in the same way, common man did not have any idea about why such rituals, why these pujas, why this upasana, why the fasting and feasting. Who will teach them? Everybody blindly they were doing it without being told why. So that to explain to simple-minded people also to know, one requires a very bright intelligence, not only to understand oneself, but also speak convincingly to others. Prajvalita buddhya, with a supremely bright intellect. Sadachit swarupaha, remaining it in his own pure consciousness. That is how he spoke to the people. Continuing, Ishaya karmani sukritva shuddhihi tadascha shravanan mananadhi buddhihi adhyatma margasya vijnana goshakah mama sadgururyah prajnana shikshakah Ishaya karmani sukritva shuddhihi tadascha shravanan mananadhi buddhihi adhyatma margasya vijnana goshakah mama sadgururyah prajnana shikshakah. Prajnana shikshakah. Shiksham karoti iti shikshakah. Teacher. Of what? Prajnanam. It is said in the Upanishad, first Mahavagya is Prajnanam Brahma. Na Jnanam Brahma, Prajnanam Brahma. The word Jnanam means to knowledge. And we have ability to know as human, when we are taught by the school or the university teachers or by the books. We learn Jnanam, we understand Jnanam, what it is about anything. But what makes you know? Huh? When you say, I know this, right? When somebody teaches, this is a carpet, or this is the table, this is a chair. So when I say this is a chair or this is carpet, I know. When I'm taught, I know. Otherwise, I don't. Always knowledge is coming from Shravanat. Shravanadeva Jnanam. See, if you see a thing and you do not know what it is, or you are not told or taught what it is, it will remain, you perceive it, but you don't know it. When a child is shown first time an apple, what does it know? It doesn't know it's apple. It doesn't know it's a fruit. And that's why first thing the child would do is put it in the mouth. First way of knowing it, what it is. Which seeing it won't know it, right? Anything you go, goes to the mouth first. Why? I want to know. Even not only human, other living beings also, you put something, the dog looks at it. What is that? It goes, first of all, to touch it with the tongue. First to smell. Right? And then, because it doesn't have the ability to touch with the hand. So whereas a child, what it would do? First of all, take it in the hand, feel it by the hand. Seeing is done, touching is done, smelling is done. So, if we are not told at all what it is, how do we know? So, any knowledge comes to us by listening to what it is. We learnt languages by listening only. If nobody speaks to a child ever, will the child ever will speak? Do you think? Because it doesn't even understand the sound. So that is why the mother or the parents continuously has to speak to the child when it is growing up. Because then only it can hear the sound and variations and vocabulary, words, and this means this means this is not this is not that. So that is how the child would understand and differentiate. Anyway, so Shravanad Jnanam. So Jnanam is to learn, but even the knowledge to be gained, what we need is Prajnana. Prajnana means consciousness. A thing that conscious alone can learn. A chair does not know anything. A chair does not, even in this table, it has been there, so many people have come and talked. It has become enlightened. This Vyasapita enlightened. Why so many? In every lecture it is learned. No, it doesn't. So what is that which is making us able to even know? Prajnanam. That's why Prajnanam Brahma. That consciousness because of which alone we will be able to hear, taste, smell, touch, through which we gain knowledge. So, jnanasya moola karanam prajnanam. Without the prajna, consciousness, jnanam na sambhavati. So, therefore, Gurudev did not teach knowledge. Prajnana shikshaka. Understand that consciousness because of which alone you can learn anything. So, prajnana shikshakah mama Sadguru. The one who taught us about nature of consciousness. In the earlier times, they did not have written material, right? The rishis and the sages who sat in contemplation came to know about the reality by reading a book, do you think? What did they learn? They directly gained that knowledge through tuning their consciousness with the higher one. And then when they spoke what they have understood, over a period of time, it has been passed on to generation. At some point of time, a great Mahatma like Vyasa had decided to put it down because it will be lost otherwise. The very word Vyasa means editor. So Vedasya Vyasaha, editor of Vedas, there is no Veda Vyasa. His original name is, what is the original name? It's not, Vyasa is only a title. So, here the knowledge comes to an individual only when the person is a conscious person. And as a conscious being, we can learn even directly, but we do not have the mind or the intellect tuned to that. So we need to be taught by somebody. By listening, we learn. So prajnana shikshakaha, when one understands that, what is that which is behind the nature of the mind or the intellect, which makes that buddhi also capable of knowing? Reflected consciousness. So, Mama Sadguru Ryaha Prajnana Shikshakaha. And first thing is to gain that access to that pure consciousness. As I said before, the mind has to be made pure, and that is possible by dedicating actions to the Lord. Ishaya karmani sukrutvatma shuddhihi. Manashuddhihi Ishaya karmani krutva eva. Sukrutva, very well doing. Doing actions for the Lord with the mind and alertfully, efficiently do it. So when it comes to doing it for ourselves, we do it well. When others, we will do it half-heartedly. Correct? One architect was there and he was also a civil engineer. And very well known for his design and execution, etc. And it has come to a time when he has to retire. So he told his boss, no, I'm done with this, I'm retiring, I'm going to take off from here, go to places, know the world, travel around. So the boss said, one last project I give you, please do it. One beautiful house you have to make. For whom? There is one minister there. I want you to make it for him. He is very convinced about your talents. So do it. But this person, architect and civil engineer, did not like that minister even a bit. That useless fellow, उसके लिए मैं कर रहा हूँ. ठीक है. So he did it half-heartedly. Because I don't like this person. I mean, he did not pay attention to the details. He did some kind of a shabby work. And then he said, okay, this is my last project. Why should I bother about, I'm not going to be in the field anyway. Doesn't matter. And once he completed that project, gave the key. Chalo, le lo, main ja raha hu. Done. He took the key and said, very good, this is for you. पहले बताना था. Before itself we should have told, I would have done the best. Now, you see, when it comes to others, we always do a half-hearted work. As I said yesterday, ichcham vina na karma. Without desire, there cannot be action. So if it is for me, definitely there will be a greater attention. If it is for others, it's not that much. But think about it, if you are doing for Bhagavan, you should do much more than what you do for yourself. किसके लिए कर रहे हो तुम? From whom you received everything. Without being asked, you are given everything. Right? Did you ask for this body? Did you ask for this? Earth and water and fire and sun and the moon and the continuous healthy air, supposed to be. Anyway, healthy air. So many things, the fruits and the vegetables and so many things are, even though human beings say that we created, but without the fertility of the earth and other things and the sunlight and the water which are available to us, without that can you create even one single thing? Can you create? Already what is available, only we are using it, misusing it also. All these are all given to us by whom? Without being charged. Somebody is not charging you for sunlight. That will also come up sometime. You cannot sunbask, pay money, sun. We are being charged for water also nowadays. Water by itself we are not being charged. For purifying that water we are charged. Isn't that true? If whatever water is there, you go and drink, who cares? You can drink. But that is polluted. By whom? Again. Human beings. Human beings pollute and they clean and charge you. Air, it's free only. Everything is available to us. Bhagavan has given. To such a Bhagavan to whom when you are doing what you should do. That's why Gurudev said, do your best to him. Ishaya karmani sukrutva. Doing it well with total attention, with a gratitude. By that only Atma Shuddhi, purity of mind. Because there is no trace of selfishness. There is nothing to gain out of it. So Atma Shuddhi, Chitta Shuddhi will take place only when the action is performed with complete purity of attitude and intention, with the gratitude of giving it back to the Lord, from whom we have received the maximum. Ishaya karmani sukrutvatma shuddhihi. And that pure mind alone can easily available to listen. Tatascha shravanat. Because a mind which is distracted with selfishness cannot really listen. Gurudev used to say, listening is different from hearing, right? Hearing with the ears, but listening is with the mind. So when you tell anything to your teenage boy or girl, listen, I am hearing. No, listen. I heard it many times. No, listen. Because what you are hearing is dum, dum, dum. That is what you are hearing. But when I say something, you listen. So the mind which is pure alone can listen. Shravana. Shravanat. Then, so Atma Shuddhihi Tataha, with that mind thereafter, Shravanat, then Mananadhi Buddhi. Not only by merely listening, by reflecting upon that alone is true buddhi is gained, true understanding. Not because my Guru said, therefore it is true. No. Did you think about it? Gurudev always said, at the end of every sentence, he would say, think. You think. Don't just listen to me and then take it. Longer the beard, greater should be your doubt. I cut it off. Longer the beard, greater should be your doubt. But the dadiwalas can say anything and go away. You think. Find out whether it is true or not. So, Ishaya karman sukrutvatma shuddhihi tatashasavanat mananathi buddhihi. And with that buddhi alone, with that convinced intellect, an intellect which has reflected upon the truth, what is heard, then adhyatma margasya vijnana goshakaha. Goshakaha, one who declares what? Adhyatma margasya vijnanam. The science of self, knowledge. Science of self-knowledge, the ability to practice those knowledge, not just listening to it or understanding it. And that's why the daily practice of this knowledge is the only way, that is a marga, adhyatma marga. Marga means a path, a road, a way. Adhyatma margasya vijnanam. How to walk on this path. Once there was a camp in our ashram in here in PRC for the students of a university, Humboldt University, which is nearby. So they all came to our ashram there in Krishnalaya with the professor of philosophy. So they requested, so I was there as the teacher for them for 4 or 5 days. At the end of that 4 or 5 days of, there were only around 20 students. He came to me and said, many of the ideas of Hinduism, when they hear it from a sadhu, it is more convincing for them. If I teach the same subject in a classroom atmosphere, it doesn't go that far. When they have to live in that ashram, doing seva, cleaning up the place and then sitting for bhajans and doing meditation and then listening to a sadhu talking about it, It is more convincing than in an atmosphere where the chairs are there, like this. Half of them are not listening also. He himself said that. They don't understand what I talk about. The same thing only. About Gita, about Upanishad. It doesn't go. So that atmosphere of a sadhana, atmosphere of a place where you can not only just learn but practice. That's why it's called, our Swamiji is called Sadhanalaya. I tell the people there, Sadhanalaya. The Sadhana Alaya it is, not Sadhana Laya. Alaya, it is abode of sadhana. And then you cannot say sadhana laya ho gaya va. Gone. So there adhyatma margasya vijnana goshaka. One who declared the path of knowledge, path of self-realization, walking that path. That's why he took the exclusive place there. During that time, this Pawai was such a remote place. So when somebody asked Gurudev, why have you got your ashram in such a wild area? Those times it was all forest. He said, I am taking the young wild ones and bring here to make them mild. That is the idea. Om sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukkhamad bhavet. Om shanti shanti shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namah. Harihi Om.